camera a little bit here. And then on the multi-output, I'm start this one. And I'm gonna check. This is streaming. And we should have chat here. And we should be up on YouTube. And we should be up here. And we should mute this. And I should get this message through on chat. Twitch and YouTube, right? And we should also be on SudokuPad. Looks like it. Alright. I think we're on all of these. Okie dokie. Oh yes, and this chat I'll probably have to pop out somehow. From here? About chat. There we go. You can live down here in the corner. Hello. Digimojo. Alright. Just making sure I can see all my different chats. Here we go. Alright, today I'm going to work on some stream effects. And the point of stream effects is to have interactions between streamers and the audience that can be visualized on the board, and ideally from the outside by a producer, for example. So the effect, the basic effect, let me see if I made some notes. I thought I did some noting. Yeah, so basically we'll think of just basic stuff like placing a digit, removing a digit, changing a digit. But I think what I'm gonna work on actually is kind of just like a basic highlight. So we're gonna do something like a remote cell highlight effect. And basically what I want to do for that is two things. I probably want to include my sparkle animation somehow. Yeah, exactly. It's kind of, I think we want to do something with bits on Twitch. So I'm just going to work on the basic infrastructure to make it possible, and then we'll have to decide exactly how the interaction will work and what makes sense. Which obviously, just because I can do it doesn't necessarily mean it's good. Alright, so we're going to use the stream tool, and we're going to use the events effect. Puzzle events, here we go. Because puzzle events have the effect in here somewhere. Feature puzzle events, effect, triggers, effects. Puzzle effect confetti. Puzzle effect confetti. So if I look at this, I should have effects, an area of effects, right? And that should have the puzzle effects confetti. And puzzle effects confetti, where does, okay, that exists in here. Yeah. And it is not exposed anywhere, is it? So I don't think this is a good idea. Yeah, we probably actually want to do this. Something like that. And the effects confetti. What's the difference between the puzzle effect confetti and the effect confetti? One has more stuff. Puzzle effect confetti. What does that do? So it does have some extra. I'm guessing this just has the sort of default settings included for the effect that we're using in the for the 3 in the corners thing. Yep, this is all JavaScript. So I'm guessing I'm first gonna see if I can just fire this off, and then we're gonna see how we're gonna trigger it. Because the thing is, if for just for a cell, this might be way too big, but we might be able to reconfigure it. Now this trigger, what does this trigger do? Distant container element. All right, so this is the API for the effect system. I'm just seeing how much of that stuff I need to bring in. What do we have? From to blast confect, confetti from to trigger. So we have confetti running. Because I'm wondering if I should just use this. Confetti running, blast confetti from to 1500, handle remove confetti container. Handle remove confetti container. This container element. So this creates a container. This stuffs the confetti into the container. Yeah, I think this does like the corner triggering. So this won't let me shoot it from anywhere. All right, let's create a quick little something to just try it out. So let's get this in some color coding. We're just going to create a little closure. It sounds really odd in my headphones. Closure. So we'll just do something like this. All right, and the effect confetti we'll get out of this. So the confetti effect comes from here, right? And then to fire this, it needs to get, what do we need to do it? This.confetti, right? So this has a config with a container, with parent. So, and then eventually we're gonna blast it. And the difference between blasting and firing is a fire, I think, doesn't have a timeout, right? Yeah, and the blast has basically, it fires it and then stops firing. All right. From to interval. All right. And then it basically just does a fire confetti. Okay. Create element diff. Let element. Okay, that adds all these things. Parent. And parent comes from here. Okay. So parent, and we could potentially just put it on document body. But here it creates a container element and adds it to the body, and then it uses the board dimensions to calculate where. You know what? I think we might actually reuse this code anyways. So we'll probably also try using this, and maybe we'll try with that first. So let's just see if we can manually fire this thing. Actually, let's just remove this. That's fine. And then within the event system, how does it get triggered? So here, it gets triggered by add trigger effect, handle trigger, this effect.trigger. Arguments. Okay. So then that gets triggered by, all right. And that gets triggered by the 3 in the corner trigger. So the 3 in the corner trigger says what exactly? Handle timeout, handle load, handle trigger. Handle trigger. Then eventually it'll trigger. F3, blah blah blah. Use this timeout, handle timeout. Trigger. Handle timeout. Okay, we have a timeout. And then here, eventually, somewhere, handle timeout, Q for each. Q filter, trigger timeout. Oh my god, it's also complicated. Handle trigger, here we go. And then this is just giving us the X and the Y. Bounce X plus 0.5 times bounce width. So that gets us the diagonals. All right, so ultimately, how does it instantiate the effects? This effect.trigger args effects. This effects effect. This effect. Dot effects. Name effect. Add effect. Let's add trigger effect. effects, push effect name. So handle trigger, this triggers, fine trigger, yada yada yada. This triggers for each effect. I'm just trying to see where these effects are being instantiated. Add trigger effects. Add effect. So add effect does what? Add effect does that? Oh, okay. So that instantiated. All right. All right. So let effect no. Let effect equals new this, and then I think we should be able to trigger it quite simply. Not with this stuff though. Oh, look at that. The same spam we got on the other place. So. Ban, thank you. Slam bam, thank you, ma'am. So, does that banned chat message disappear? Yeah. And can we... yeah, so he's banned. Ooh. Oh, thanks for the surprise up. It's helping us put things through the paces. Awesome. Yeah, I'm used to my own Twitch channel, which is not this busy ever. So I'm gonna have to get used to paying more attention to the chat as well. All right, and eventually we want to trigger this effect by triggering it. All right, so let's see, effect.trigger. I don't know if there's other stuff that's required, right? And then we'll have X, and I don't know what units these are, so I'm just gonna put 5 in there, which are either way too small or in the middle of the board, because I don't know if they're by cell units or not. If I run this, is not a constructor. Puzzle effect confetti. It should be. It should be a constructor. It is undefined. Is that puzzle? Ah, wait, I need to refresh that because I've made that little change there. All right, okay. So the positioning is relative to the whole screen. That doesn't make sense. It should be relative to the board. From position X. All right, so the 3 in the corner stuff. I hate working with the large font, but I understand that for the stream it makes sense to have it a bit bigger. So 3 in the corner trigger. My Twitch channel name is Sven Codes, where I stream every week working on SudokuPad. But I also stream on YouTube under Sven Codes. Is it not in the app? My YouTube is... yeah, I didn't put the Twitch in the app because it wasn't like my primary stream location. So, handle timeout. Then here we're triggering. So it calculates the... tiny fly. Alright. So it figures a cell, gets the bound inclined rect for that cell. Oof. Okay, that's a bit... Alright, so we need the bounds. Alright, so we need to find the bounds of the board anyways, or more specifically of the cell. So let's grab a cell. Because interestingly enough, we are operating relative to a cell anyways. So it's framework.app.cells. No. Puzzle.cells 0.lm. Alright. So that gets us a cell element, right? So, so that's the cell. And then I'm guessing the rest of the stuff here we probably don't need either. But probably what we really want then, after all, instead of this, we want the raw confetti effect. And then we'll calculate it from All right, so we can do this. Cell bounds, right? Then handle trigger. Handle trigger. List of handle triggers, handle trigger. And when is handle trigger being assigned? Wait a second. Handle init. Handle init. Init. Framework outside. No, that's. When is this? Is that handle trigger? Oh wait, I looked at the wrong thing. One sec. This is too small, too big. Not enough space. Handle trigger. Yeah, this is what we care about. And then handle trigger this. Handle trigger. Handle trigger. I was still looking at the wrong thing. God damn it. Okay, so these positions are... So these are in screen coordinates. We have a from and a to. And then we have the whole blast confetti thing. All right. And the timeout here, I don't think we need to do that ourselves. We don't actually need that. So this would be effect. Blast confetti, right? And from, we'll just do from equals bounds dot x bounds dot y, and to we'll just add a little bit, just to see if we're in the ballpark of getting something that actually does a thing. And nope. All right, so we have not done the container element stuff here. I guess that's the only thing we need to do here, right? Config. Oh wait, no, we haven't done this at all. All right. We need to do this. We need to create a container. Container element class. Add confetti container. Create element div, class list add, pen child. So if we do something like let parent equals dot insert adjacent HTML. Yes, very red. And then we'll just need before end, and then we'll just need a little bit of HTML here, and it's just going to be a little div. Now I'm not sure if I need this class, but I'm just going to add it because I don't know. So that's just going to be in here, and I think that's all we really need. And the problem is that doesn't get us the container actually. And you know what? We're just gonna do this. Can I use framework? Framework dot. Wait, is this still looping? No. Dot create element. If I do something like this, I get a div, and if I say class confetti container, like that. All right, and then if I say, okay, if I say parent equals document.body, and I think that should work, and then we can just stick the parent in here. Right? That should just do a thing. Okay. Now, why is it so stuttery and slow? I'm wondering if I did something before. My computer is not acting busy. But something isn't quite working well. Like, my computer is not busier than usual when I'm streaming. Alright, is the browser busy with something? Just the usual. How is the normal effect? I feel things are super sluggish here. Let me close this for a sec. I also just updated my graphics driver before I started, which might have been a bad idea. Everything is very sluggish in the browser. Alright, I might have too many streams open in the background. Let me close the Twitch stream. I still have the chat open. Oh yeah. Let me pause that. Don't need that. Let me pause the preview. And I'll pause this preview too. Too many previews. We have a memory issue? Not particularly. But I can kill these. Definitely don't have it. Well, there's something going on. Restream dashboard. I know these situations, and then it's usually just one thing, and you get rid of that one thing and everything works fine. But I don't know. It's not clear what the one thing is right now. What's using my GPU like that? Like, you see how that lags behind the behind the mouse cursor? That's not right. Yeah, the heck? I hope it's not because I didn't reboot after installing the graphics driver. I don't like this. I don't like this. Yeah, this is also sluggish. Ah, no, here it works. Maybe because this is... Maybe it's doing something with the network connection? Because this is one of the Stream Tools puzzles. Like, it shouldn't be sending a lot of messages through. Is it maybe spamming messages when it's not supposed to? Not really. I'm here. Butter smooth. If I go to my local browser, butter smooth, but not here. What if we go to the same puzzle but not have the stream tool instantiated? I feel they're still stuttering here. Is it just the stream tool existing and like running in the background? Is that the problem? Can I do a profile? Let's see if I do a profile here. Yeah, I mean, there's a severe problem. Now, we can't have that during the stream, so I feel compelled to actually check out what's going on here. So, what is all this red stuff? Is this? I mean, I am animating the particles via these CSS animations, but it obviously works on the other side. It's dropping frames like crazy. No. Why is it not... No, wait a second. It's doing it here now. This is the one that was working smoothly before. Oh, here it's working smoothly as well. What the heck is going on? Yeah, I might have to be careful about these visual effects. I don't know, they're not particularly optimized or anything like that. So I might have to kind of do a version with fewer particles. But I think for just testing for now, we can still run it. Holy crap. So what if we do... I'm trying to remember all the settings for these. Size jitter, angular jitter, distance jitter, size, interval. Now interval is that... Interval, set interval. So this is... So we have blast confetti, and we have start confetti gun. So start confetti gun. So blast confetti is basically start confetti gun, but with an automatic shut off. And it's doing 1 particle every 16 milliseconds, so 60 particles per second. So if we make this 64, that would be significantly fewer particles. And if we go to a cell somewhere in the middle, where we're grabbing the cells, cell 40. Okay, and we make them smaller, and we fire it only for 500 milliseconds. What does that look like? You probably want to run them as frequently to get like a little dense troop. All right. And then distance, we can do something like that. Yeah, except we want to shoot it outwards. So something like that. And they probably should be even smaller than that. Yeah, and that shouldn't be as random. Right. And then the idea is to have 4 of these. I'm trying to think. Can I use the same one to shoot 4 different ones? Because... So I'm gonna make an array out of these. So we have from. Oops. We have blasts, right? And each blast has a from and a to. Right? And then we can do const nope, 4 const from to off blasts, and then we can just do this, right? Blasts, and we'll do that. Nope. From, and eventually I'll be able to spell these things correctly. There we go. And then the next one will be plus bounce.width to, and I'm not going to call these bounce, I'm going to call these B, because bounce is too long. And we're going to type bounce so many times. Bounce, 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 bounce. And actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to get X, Y, width as W, and height as H. And then we can just get rid of the B with X, X plus what? W, Y, Y, X minus 30, X minus 30, X plus W plus 30, and then Y minus 30. And that should get us to Diagonal blast, right. And then we're just gonna do a dist for d equals 30. And then all the 30s are gonna get replaced with d. Like that, and like that. So that's top left, top right, and then we'll have bottom left going to bottom left going to bottom left, and then we're gonna have bottom right to bottom right. And that should get us 4 blasts angled out from the corners of the cell, like that. Like that. Now, they don't seem to move very quickly. I don't know if the speed is adjustable there. I don't know if that's actually configurable. Oh, I think it is, by the distance? No, that should be by duration, right? I'm trying to remember how the animation gets handled. So when we're firing the confetti, the animation... We have confetti animation, right? Slow, medium, fast. Anims. And how does it pick? Anim... So it's just randomly picking them. All right. I guess that gets us the temporal spread. Sure. I think there's a link in the description of my YouTube stream. But I'll post it in the chat separately. It's called Chipped of the Necrodancer by Chipcell. Let me just link you there. Music by Chipcell. Alright, so used with permission, just to clarify. Alright, so we have that. There's something about it I don't like. It's almost like it's too slow. Maybe too synchronized. Maybe I should stagger them. If I stagger them, I want to go top left, right, bottom left. So if we make this async, and then we'll do I don't think when I do a 4 off loop, I can't get indices into the array, right? Yeah, this is a bit silly that I'd have to track the index separately. But what I can do is we're just experimenting, right? So if I do set timeout this, and we'll do that IDX. We'll do something like IDX times 250, something like that, right? Yeah, it's almost too small. I wonder if I could add more of them. I'll do 150 milliseconds. They move slowly. I don't know how I can get the particles to move faster. I don't think I can without changing the animations that underlie it, which is a little annoying. I can increase the distance, and then the particles will move faster because they'll cover the same distance in they'll double the distance in less time. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe if I go around twice? Maybe if I go around twice. Like if I clone this, right? No. I could... I don't know if it makes sense to add point. Because at some point, if I'm going to add more points, I should just use trigonometry, right? Because now I'm thinking like, what if I just go around in a circle? So if we say something like const cx, so that's x plus width 0.5. So that's the x center, and then cy equals y plus height times 0.5. And now if we go in an angular direction, right? So if we'll do something like for let ang equals 0, ang smaller than 720, ang plus equals, like if we go twice around the circle in 10-degree steps, that's a lot of glass. And I'm curious if we should have fewer of them then. Let's do 45 degree, and we're going around the circle twice, right? And now we'll just need a little trigonometry to figure out the dx, dy, and all that stuff. So if I'll do math.sine of 45 times times math.pi divided by 180, right? Times math.o. No, capital I. All right, so that's radians, right? So if I go 180, that gets us pi. So there's 2 pi radians in a circle. Man, I used to do so much of this stuff, and now I'm struggling to remember. So let's see, 90 degrees, math.sine, right? And we'll get the cosine as well. And that gets us what exactly? 1 and 6.12 at 90 degrees. Wait, that doesn't make sense. One of these should be 0. What are we at 0? 0, 1. And then 180, it should be also 0, 1, basically, right? It's 0, negative 1, yeah, okay. So then at 90, it should be 1, 0. Is that... Oh yeah, that's a super small number. Okay, so rounding error. Alright, so that gets us the x and y. Yeah, alright. So, let's let s equals root. C equals that. So that's our sine and cosine. And that's our angle. And we'll just const that const pi 180. All right. So that gives us the sine and cosine, and then we'll just do I want to blast? Yeah, 45 degrees. We should be able to do a blast like that, and we'll do the same set timeout thing here. And we'll take angle divided by 45 times 500? No, times 200. 250, right. So 45, that's 8. So that's 2. That little. All right, and we'll do one circle. All right. So then we can do let from equals. So we'll do sine as the x. So sine times d over 2, c times d over 2. And let's do 180 degrees to start with. And then the 2 is basically this multiplied by 2. Alright, and then we'll just log this out as well. Just so we know what's going on. We can get rid of that. And if we put this in here now, what do we get? We get an error. Cx, Cy. Identify from has already been declared. Where? From 2. Alright, we're getting there. And that's not and, that's angle. ANG for angle. And is not defined. God damn it, did I misspell it half? Oh, jeez. Alright. Yeah, I didn't want to calculate it. I'm just using 45 as an arbitrary angle that I know roughly where it should be to verify the numbers. All right, so this is there? Yeah, yeah. I didn't pay attention. Did it blast the confetti? Ah, it's blasting them up there. All right, we need to add our CX plus CY plus CX plus CY plus. And shoop, shoop, shoop. Okay, it's going in the reverse direction that I intended. I kind of wanted it to start at the top and then go to the right, so we'll just invert everything. Is that how we're gonna do it? If we just do this and this. Okay, now we have the reverse direction, so we're only gonna invert the Y. There we go. Okay, so now if we go smaller equal to 360, we should get a circle. Okay, definitely can be faster than that. So after every 50 milliseconds, shoop. Maybe not that fast. Although, if we're adding more steps, yeah. So now if we're going every 22.5 degrees. Sure. Okay, now we don't want to blast as long because we have so many blasts, we don't need as many particles, right? And we can probably go faster again. We can kind of do this. And then we can go 2 rounds. Twice as many particles, so we gotta be careful. Okay. Probably even faster. Or we just go more degrees, right? More spacing. It's almost too fast still. The particles aren't flying fast enough. What if we do times 2 on the final distance? It starts slow and then speeds up, which is a very strange effect. I mean, it's mostly like a stand-in effect, but it's definitely something you would notice, right? We gotta circle around faster. What if we once again reduce the amount of particles we fire out from each blast, and then go faster on the blasts? Kind of get to a spiral effect, and then go down on the angular distance again. That's almost there, right? Should the particles be smaller? Maybe not go out as far. Do we want them to fade out sooner? Yeah, let's go out to 1.5 instead of 2. Something like that, right? Alright, and now we don't need to log out this stuff either. All right. And I'm happy that we can do that all with a singular effect object. The problem is it's the particles themselves that are not very efficient, so... we'll have to be careful also because the computer that's going to be running this is going to handle all the video streams and a whole bunch of stuff, so we don't want to make the whole stream stutter because somebody does this effect, although people might love that and kind of pay extra for that. Alright, I think I need to increase the spacing and just have fewer of these blasts. In fact, what if I offset the spacing so they don't overlap, they're not aligned? Maybe that'll look nicer. And maybe not spiral quite as fast. Yeah, a little like poof, 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 you know? And maybe we'll make them speed up. So what if we have a delta t that starts out as 200, we're multiplying by dt, and then we're saying dt multiplies by 0.8. So it speeds up as we're going along. Maybe it's speeding up too fast. Maybe we'll start out even higher. Why does the circle suddenly look like it's going backwards? Wait a second, why does it suddenly go like... No, now it's going right. Okay, they are super tiny now, these poofs. These little puffs of confetti-o. It doesn't realign when the window resizes. The cell spacing here is not... The cell... Yeah, we need to use the cell width here. In fact, you know, let's just put W in here. With height. And I'm gonna change these to be a little bit more consistent. No, wait, what? 0.5 times, not divided by 2, times 0.5 times 0.5 times... Ah, no, 1.5 times. 1.5 times. Alright. Alright, that's a bit slow. I don't know why that gives us... This should be the radius, and the radius should be half the width. That's so weird. It looks like it's in the completely wrong place. It's not at the edge of the cell. It's so strange. Like, I don't know exactly why these numbers don't align better. So each puff is half a second. But we're multiplying the delta t by 0.8, so it'll get smaller fairly quickly. Too quickly. Is this multiplicative factor just too powerful? Yeah, maybe we'll just subtract a fixed amount. But subtracting the fixed amount is just a different word for multiplying the angle, right? Or is it? In a way it is. Alright, if we're subtracting... Thing is, then it's just... Because the multiplicative factor becomes smaller as the value gets smaller. while the subtractive factor becomes bigger relative to the value. So that would just speed up even further. So maybe just the multiplicative factor has to be really small. Yeah, I'm still seeing performance stuttering, and it's annoying because it's not like a computer performance issue. It's just the browser renderer is having problems. Alright, and if we now make this start as 200 instead of 500, or maybe 150 instead of 200. I mean, that's kind of what I had in mind, right? If we have distance jitter larger, and then the angular jitter a little larger as well. Whoops, that's supposed to be 30. Can we get it to be a bit more connected? I wish I could just have it keep going, but, you know, I'd actually have to do something with a graphical system instead of just throwing 100,000 diffs at the HTML renderer. Hey, sorry, I was not paying attention to my YouTube chat. And, ciao guys. I've been logged out of my chat on Restream. That is silly. Why would I not be logged in here? And why does it tell me that after the stream started instead of before? Oh, now I'm logged in again, but I have no messages. Restream, you are not very useful sometimes. Alright, ZMath stream doesn't load at all. Instant buffering for me. ZMath stream doesn't load at all. Well, that doesn't have anything to do with me. So I'm not sure if I can take responsibility for that. Let me have a look at my streaming performance. I mean, YouTube says everything is fine. But it could also be that every time my browser stutters, it messes up the streaming system. Alright, I mean, this is just sort of a quick something. But what I really want... this is the fun stuff, right? But what I really want is kind of like the selection rectangle, but something that kind of bounces in and out. Like, so to do that, we're going to start with the same code that does the selection rectangle, right? And that code lives in a weird place. That's all I remember. App settings, maybe? It lives in a weird place because it was like implemented as a sort of external thing. But it was also implemented before I had like the current plugin and settings and feature API. So on remove render cage. So we're using the cage renderer here. We're putting that into cell highlights. Now, do I have a place in the rendering layers that I can just use? I could use cell highlights. The problem with that is it could get removed like that. So we probably want to add a overlays layer. And I don't know, for example, if the particles would be better in SVG than in as divs. I mean, they were always only ever designed really as a quick, silly effect to be replaced in the future. All right. I mean, we can try this, right? So if we do this, and we'll do this before the effect, right? Let's do that up here, and we'll get the SVG renderer from const app SVG render equals framework. No, it's fine. Need that. So if I do this with our cell here, like that, I have nothing selected or something selected down here. And then I'll stick that in here. We'll do that, right? Now, this is the style. But we don't actually want style selection cage. We want to do our own style. Yeah, now the nice thing is it gets kind of cleaned up for us. But it's also not necessarily what we want. Yeah, I feel like my mouse cursor, everything is sluggish on the browser, and that is not normal. And I don't know why that's happening right now. And it's probably like a reboot later, it'll be fixed, so it's not, but it's... Rebooting is something I don't want to do while I'm streaming. Let's be clear. What is... Man. And I know XSplit is using freaking one CPU core all on its own. But most of this other stuff is just, you know, less than 1%. Like, the CPU is not busy. Very, very annoying. I mean, I have too much stuff running. I have too many browser windows open, but there's so much work that I need to be doing. I can't really change that at the moment. Alright, so let's have a look at selection cage here. So this is a style. So if I change this to something like this, for example, I think that'll break, yeah. So because that uses an old system that is not very expandable, but I have expanded it already in the past, despite it not being expandable. So maybe we can do this one more. This is, again, this is a one-off thing that we can probably hack into whatever we want for now. So we have a cell border style called selection cage. Here we go. So if we take something like that, and we'll add this to SVG renderer dot styles, which really should be a capital S, dot cage borders, and then we'll do something like cell marker. Oh. Let's just do that. And what we're gonna do is offset. So if we do this as the offset, we can do a -5 offset. Now that's the thing. I don't know if I can animate the offset because it's literally calculating positions based on that. Because what I would like to have is basically something that looks like this around the edges of like just the corners and kind of pulsating, moving in and out, right? So this thing might not be suitable for that. And I might have to build my own thing for that. Alright, so if we do a cell marker here now... Nope, don't want to say that. And then we'll just stick that in here. Style cell marker, cage borders cell marker. So if we're now looking at what's in here, there should be something, but there isn't. There's the cell marker, but why don't we see it? Why don't we see it? Is it the negative offset? Is it the negative offset? Ah, maybe the offset is too large, because I think I'm realizing that the offset is in cell units. So if we make this negative 0.1, there we go. So this is, I'm guessing, that's 10% of the cell size. So 0.25 would be a quarter of a cell out. Alright, that's way too much. Like this. Alright. Now the problem is it's also, we need to clear it out ourselves as well. Where did we have the app settings? And I think it was just doing this. Right. And the SVG element came from .svg. All right. So we can do that as well. And we probably need to come with a different color. Now, is there a way for me to put gaps in this? If I do stroke style, SVG stroke style, can I do dashed strokes? I'm not sure. Dash stroke. Stroke dash array. I'm not sure if stroke dash array is powerful enough for what I have in mind. It might be. It just might be because of me being able to put in specific lengths in specific. But it's a repeating thing, huh? So like if this is 50. And then 50, because it's a repeating thing, but if I make it long enough... I don't even know where it starts. 50, 10, 50... Yeah, because there's a big gap over here. What if I keep doing that? So we have 50, 10. So I think this is where it starts. The problem is, I think I need to figure out exactly the locations and such, which might be very hard to do from this perspective. Like, I don't really want to trial and error it, you know what I mean? So if this is 25, 30, and then 50, does that look just about right? And then we'll do 30 again, and I don't think we're quite there. So that's the thing, I don't actually know how long the whole thing is. So we need to do 7. A little bit more. So 30, 50, 30, 50. And we need to go back to 30 maybe. 30, 50, 30, 50. Oh man, it's actually not too far off. Annoying thing is that the line doesn't join nicely over here in the upper left corner. And these might be have to be a little longer than 50. So we have one gap, that's the top gap, right gap, bottom gap. And then we should have another gap here. Like that. Oh. Oh man, this is very close. This is very close. This is almost there. The problem is to get it actually symmetrical might be borderline impossible. I mean, I guess I can move it 1 pixel at a time. The thing is, I don't even know if these numbers add up at the moment. They might not. Yeah, it's too far over now. It's 1 back. The thing is, I also don't even know if it's an integer divisible length thing. I mean, I can fudge it a little bit by hand. It does look very, very odd though. Like it's just not quite right. I'm so tempted to pull it into an editor and just figure out exactly what the numbers should be. I don't know if it's worth it though. I don't know if it's worth it. And I still can't animate it from here, unfortunately. Is there a way of animating it? Stretching it like with a transform or something? Oh, maybe. Maybe. Can we transform scale this? All right, let's get it a little bit more right, at least. So the gaps are maybe too small, maybe too big. So these might have to be 53 instead of 55. It's almost there. It's like it almost can fool you, but then the closer you look, the weirder it gets because everything is just slightly off. Oh man, that's annoying. Can we push this over one more? We'll rotate everything a little bit. Ugh, it's so close. It's close enough for now. Close enough for now. So if I want to do a SVG transform animation, so we should be able to scale, transform scale, right? Transform scale animation. So that's an SVG animation though. Can we do a CSS animation? I don't know. So if we do a marker dot style dot transform equal scale 1.5, like if I do this, it doesn't like it. Not merger, marker. Ooh, okay. Transform origin equals 50%, 50%. 50% of what? Transform origin 50%, 50%. Scale 2. Ugh, that doesn't look right. Oh, because I think the origin of that whole box is this upper left corner. Ah, that's annoying. Oh, geez. Okay. Shoot. And I don't even know what kind of units we're talking about because the whole thing is scaled. So if I do this, right, 50%, I'll need a little bit more space down here. If I scale it by 50%, look at this thing. Can I convert that 50% scale origin into computed transform origin? So that's 300 by 300. So it's relative to the whole board then? Yeah. So it's relative to the whole board, which is not what we want. Transform origin. Maybe that's not what we want. CSS transform origin center of element. The problem is, we might have to do a SVG transform after all. Transform. SVG transform scale. SVG. Basic transformations. Transform. But that's... Isn't that a CSS transformation? Scale change. The size of the element takes two numbers. The first being the axis. Transform scale relative to center. Hey Jojo81 Gaming, how are you doing? So the question is, how do I get the center of this element? Because the transform origin seems to be relative to the whole SVG element, which is just a little annoying. Can we do it via its bounding box? So, nope. If I do let m bounds mb, and we'll do marker dot get yada yada yada. If I output that, awesome. Chilling is a good thing to do. I prepared all these cookies to have with my coffee, and I find it hard to eat while I'm streaming. The microphone is in the way. Okay. Maybe this would work. Maybe. So we do this, and we'll get the marker bounds x plus 0.5 times bounds width as the x. The problem is I don't even know, is this pixel unit because pixel units because it's an SVG? I don't know, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I'm guessing it is pixel units and it's like post render or something, post scaling, because I know the SVG is scaled to hell and back, right? If I do this, just let me read the transform origin out. So we have a transform origin at a particular place. The problem is that, well, that's obviously not right, otherwise our transform would be relative to that. I think this is not what we need. Annoyingly, we're gonna need something more complex than that. Something of my own creation. Probably this. Because of the way it calculates bounds with its hierarchy taken into consideration. Except, apparently, it doesn't make a damn difference. So the question is, does this just not take the scaling of the SVG into consideration? Oh my god. All right. What if I just need to get into the ballpark because I need to figure out exactly how it works. So if we're using the X and the Y, you see that still doesn't make sense. So I am presuming these numbers, yeah, these numbers don't take the board itself, the board position itself into consideration. And if we use this, is that any better? And if we use, if we get the SVG element included, what do we get then? So what if I take, so we have the MB here and the SVG element bounds here, right? And what if we do sb.x plus mb.x and then sb.y plus, I mean, we're getting into a bunch of maths here that I didn't really want to do for this. XB? No, SB. Now it's gone completely. So what are the origin numbers here? 1207. mb.y, sb.y, mb.y. Because I would have assumed that the bounds function already includes these. X, X, Y, Y. Transform origin. Transform origin is in XY order, right? Transform origin. Find origin. Nope. Origin. SVG transform origin. And what is it relative to? Is it relative to the SVG, relative to the object, the element? Oh my god. This is not very useful. Can you use this with any items transformation? Alright, yes, except how? It says with transform origin and then it doesn't use it. Yeah, like I'm sure absolute values will work. God damn it. Y'all don't know how transform origin in SVG embedded elements work, right? I actually just want to look at the numbers for a second. Maybe staring at numbers is going to reveal some sort of deeper secret of the universe to me. So that is, yeah, you see the DOM rectangle of the SVG is also completely gibberish because, wait, what? Top left X Y. So X is 191, left is top is 185. Okay, no, X and Y is top and right and left. And then of the marker element, X and Y, 571, 302. And let's scale it just a tiny bit, so we're not significantly moving it. So it's moving it to the left. Do we need to add half of the width of either one? So plus MB dot plus 0.5 times MB dot width. Like that kind of thing. Because you see, that actually just moves it into the opposite direction of what you would think it should. So MB width, it's 37, right? The thing is, I'm adding it to the X of the origin, and it moved the element to the left further, which is the opposite of what it should be doing. As the X gets bigger, right? As the origin goes further to the right. No, it's right. It's right. No, yeah. Wait. So if I do 0 here, so it's too far. So the transform origin, so it goes from here to here, which means the origin is down here. Ah, that doesn't make any flippin' sense. There's no flippin' sense there. The problem is the SVG itself is like scaled and transformed. So I am a little bit not in the loop about how that interacts. Why? How is it possibly too big? That doesn't make any sense to me. And how does that move it further to the left? So there's definitely something not being taken into consideration in a very bad, horrific, not good at all kind of way, right? Now the annoying thing is the scale actually works. It's just I need to figure out the frickin' origin here. Okay. If we set it to something extreme, like 0, 0, so that should be the upper left corner here, right? Now, the board is 376 wide. So if we set this to 300 pixels, it should now move to the left. except it doesn't. So I'm thinking this is unscaled numbers. So we need to figure out what the scale of this thing is. And where have I done this recently? I've done this recently. I've done this recently. I've pulled the scale from the board. Why? For what? Was it? I don't know if I did it in a scale. What if I search for scale and hope I use it in a regular expression? No. What if I do this and do this? What if I search for the word scale in a string? No. What if I search for the word scale as part of a... What if I just search for the... I'm looking in the wrong folder. Let's see, scale. Somewhere I did a get scale because I needed to do something with the scale. Transform, parse flow transform match RE scale. This looks... Stream tool. Oh, yes, I've done this in the stream tool. All right, fair enough. Which is fine because we'll have access to that. All right. So where was I? Excuse me. Excuse me. All right. So we'll have this here, and then we should be able to get word elements. Const scale is equal to word elements. Word element query selector document query selector dot word. Word. Nope. You know what? I'm gonna cut that here. So if I do this, no, not this. Do this. SVG element has already been declared. What are you talking about? I'm not trying to redeclare it. What are you complaining about? I don't want to redeclare it. The frick are you talking about? It's only being declared once. I probably missed like that. Missed a stupid symbol somewhere. C is not defined. Console log scale. Scale. All right. What's what? Do we have scale? 0.619. That actually looks just about right. All right. So if we go back to this, and we'll do scale times all of this. Scale times all of this. Because I think it just does the numbers. It doesn't take the scale into consideration. Man, how can it be so close and then still be wrong? And I think there's a bit of a problem because I am using... because I am using a cell near the center. I should use a cell near a corner. So it's not like confusing me about is it the... It's so close. So if I do half of this, is that... If I subtract that, that seems the wrong direction. It also seems not right. Like it's so close that I can't believe it's that I'm fundamentally looking at the wrong numbers, you know what I mean? But it's like, it should be on the other side. Like, it's almost perfectly aligned for one cell over. And I don't think... And it's almost like X and Y are flipped, which also doesn't make any bloody sense. My god. Does this make sense? I mean, it seems like the board position definitely plays some kind of role. If I get rid of that and I use the board, the SVG bounds instead. So that would imply we're too far on that side. Plus sp.width. .5 times sp.width. So we're too far over here. Now, if I go back to what I did earlier, where I was adding the marker box as well, and again, I don't know if I need to multiply that in with a scale or not. So that brings it that further to the right. Okay, and if I put it in with the scale, even more so. But the scale is... Oh, it's bigger than... One sec. Okay, let me think about this. So we're too far... The value is too large. The value is too large. And if we just use SM, X, and Y... Don't get me started that the Y is... Oh, no, that's wrong. SMX times 0 half width. SM, MS, Oh. I'm just flipping my letters here randomly, alright. So here it means these are too big. So if I say minus 50 and run it again, the square should be over. Okay, so they are too big. And if I get rid of the width factor, that almost makes no difference. Yeah, the problem is this doesn't make any sense at all. This doesn't make any sense at all. Like, it doesn't make sense that it should either be wrong or not. Now, I am pretty close to the edge of the whole page, so maybe the board position doesn't make much of an effect right now. Alright, let's go back to having no transform set, right? So now we're over here. Now, I think it defaults to 0, 0. Let's test that out. Yeah, okay, defaults to 0, 0. The question is... Do we want to inverse scale it, perhaps? Maybe we need to divide this by the scale. So we could do 1 over scale times that. Ah, and now we should add half the width. Nope. Nope. We'll try the SVG bounds again. Also nope. Now if I change it from here, it goes in the wrong direction, huh? This is so bizarre. We are now in a position. Yes, why? I'll do this. we're over here. If I go ms x, we're here. And if I move this way, can't picture what's going on here. And if I do sb.x plus mb.x, the thing is, I feel like I should... Hey, Kodak. I feel like I should at least... I can't visualize at all right now where the origin of my transformation is. Because normally it's at 0, 0. The problem is the puzzle itself is scaled and has its own transform origin. And I don't know if I need to take that into consideration. If I had, and if I have to, that would be absolutely awful. And I was hoping that I can just move it around and it'll like... The secrets will reveal itself to me, but no. So it's all the way over here. Because it could be a combination. I might have to subtract the scaled version of the... One second, let me... I'm just thinking, like, for the Steam tools, the reason I'm doing this is I'm calculating the mouse cursor offset, which is in real, like, screen locations, right? So what's the left here? So, God, do we have to do all of this? Oh, I still don't understand if the transform origin is ever... If I transform something and the origin is 0, 0, shouldn't it be relative to the upper left position of the element itself? Man, I hope I don't have to do all of this. But if we do, like, okay, let's bring this function in. Right, I think we can just do this for now. This, I'm doing that. Alright. So if I do two board relative, right, so let's go back down to here and we'll do two board relative and we'll do two board relative of sb.x, sb.y. So sb is the bounds of the SVG. And it's looking for a C somewhere. Probably for the scale regular expression. Right. So it's minus 64, minus 16. Wait, what? Minus 64, minus 16. That doesn't make any sense. Two board relative. Oh yeah, the upper left corner of the board. That's where it is on the board. Oh, Jesus Christ. Alright, so if I do the same thing now with the marker bounds, right? 11854. Is that more useful? I don't even know where what I'm looking for right now. I mean, I almost want to try that as absolute values, right? So if we say... So the marker is at 11854 relative to the upper left corner of the thing, but in... Now, we're looking at the upper left corner of this relative to this. And if I do... if I do plus 0. Like if I take the width into consideration as well, right? So we're adding half the width and half the height. And let's see what that gets us. Riveting stuff, guys. Riveting stuff. Hope you're all entertained with me just programming here. 160 by 96. 160. I'm gonna have to skip this if I'm not gonna find something soon, because I can't just waste so much hours on this detail just because I can't figure it out. Except that looks spot on. Does this look spot on or not? It does look spot on, so I got it. God damn it. Alright. Alright. Okay. So, we're gonna do let origin equals this. So we can now do this, right? And then we should be, and origin here should be like that. So we should be able to just do this, origin 0 and origin 1, right? Okay. Okay. Now, I'm just realizing the moment I'm scaling it, our carefully aligned corners here go kaput. So we might have to realign them if we're going to use this effect, which is terrifying, frankly. Absolutely terrifying. But the nice thing is we don't need to think about the board itself. And since I have the scale calculated on here, like this, we don't need to recalculate it. And since we have all of these guys, oh, that's not what I need to look at. Here, we don't need to do this. And then we can have the SVG bounds. So we do, we can do const SVG bounds equals that. So where's rect being used? G bounds, boom. And then we can do SVG bounds. It's view box, so we don't need to recalculate the view box. View box scale. And then we can do const SVG origin equals XY, right? So left first. So that'll be our X, and this will be our Y. And then instead of left, we can just do SVG origin 0. Instead of top, we can do SVG origin 1. Right, that should still look the same. Good. And board element. I can do that here. Boom. All right. All right. Sorry, I'm having a mild breakdown here. Okay. All right. The reason we're doing all of this is actually that we can animate the scale. So, SVG, no. CSS animate scale. So the question is, can we? And I think we need to actually inject this into the style. So I'm just going to do that here. I'm just going to do this. So we're going to attach a style sheet here, and the style sheet is going to include an animation. And I messed with an animation earlier today, and I'm going to remember animation, where I did that. I did it with the Sven Peak, right? Sven Peak. because I was getting ready for Halloween, for a nice little visual change for Halloween. And this should be somewhere near here. There we go. So if we do something like this, and we'll do marker bounce, and we'll just, for now, we're just gonna do scale 1. And then here we're just gonna do scale 2. Just as a start. And I think we need to do that. Oh, wait, how do we do that with an animation? Wait, transform scale. Wait, CS animate, transform scale with keyframes. Can we do that? Oh yeah, well, transform. All right, and then we apply it, transform, something like that, with style, animation, equal that. Does that make sense? Maybe not. Animation, marker, bounce. And don't do nothing. Ease in out, 1S, marker bounce. Animation, ease in out, on peak. Animation. It feels like that should do it. Transform. So, got that. Keyframes, marker bounce, transform. Do we? No, that looks fine. Transform scale. Yeah. Don't like it. It just don't like it. So if I look at this, and we're looking for animation. Animation. Does it not have an animation assigned to it? Transform origin. It does not. Marker.style.animation. Animation. Can we not apply this to... Jesus Christ. We cannot do this to a... Oh, sheesh. Animate SVG keyframes. Can we not keyframe animate SVG elements? Animate transform. Do we have to use that? I think so. Attribute name. Animate attribute name. Animate transform. Animate attribute name. Animate transform. So I think we need to do this thing. So if we look at what we're outputting here, we have this path, right? So we should be able to do marker dot append child, and we need to create the thing. Here, path. Oops. Find path. And apart. Invert. So if I do this, not this. I'm just hijacking things that aren't really designed for these things. So we go to the SVG renderer. Alright. Oh, nope. log this out. And then the question is, can we literally just render a type animate transform attributes, right? And then just see. And I don't know, can I just render part? Can I pass in a parent, or does it have to be specifically a layer? Target append child. Clear select target. If I say target, if I give the marker an ID, marker, cell marker, right? If we do this, does this thing have an ID? Somewhere I didn't finish writing a line, I'm sure. Somewhere in here, probably. Does this now have an ID? If not, we can work around that. Alright, we can just say marker.id equals this. I'm using a system not designed for this at all. Alright, cell marker. So can I now just do a layer cell marker? Layer cell marker. I want to do a Kickstarter for SudokuPad 2, and then I'm gonna rip all these crummy things out and make them work the way they should, and it will be a glorious attributes. Right. Alright, that gets us an animate transform object, and I wouldn't be surprised, in fact, if I click on marker, the output marker again afterwards. Oh, if I do this, holy moly, if I do this, does this now have an animate transform in it? No. Let anim here, right? And we can just do anim dot parent equals marker. Is that all? Is that all we need to do? Can we assign parent? I'm not sure. Or do we have to do like some sort of pen child situation? Maybe. Maybe we'll have to do marker dot append child and element. Maybe that's the right order of operations here. Yeah, there we go. Now it has a child. We've got our animate transform, and now we gotta figure out how to make this thing cook with gas. So, attribute name transform. So, okay, let's just copy that. Let's just copy that. So begin at 0. Type scale duration 2 seconds from 1 to I guess 2. Repeat count 1. Let's just try that and see what happens. What happens? Nothing happens. Nothing happens. Attribute name scale. If I get rid of that, do I need animate transform attribute? Whoa! Oh my shoot! Attribute name. Here we go. Does that? Oh no! Yeah, no, it doesn't seem to make a difference. Attribute transform, begin 0 seconds, scale, duration from to, repeat count 1. Let's just see, does this object make sense? Enemy transform, attribute name transform, begin 0s, type scale, duration 2 seconds, from 1, repeat count 1. Element, if I open this up, look into this enemy transform, right? These are all attributes. This does not do the trick. Enemy transform. Name R. Change your scaling transform, use the additive sum and apply an additional transform that translates a circle to the center of the image. So instead of defining the shape of the center, yada 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 yada. Repeat count indefinite from transform scale 0011 from 1 to 2. Additive sum, type scale, attribute, transform, attribute name, transform, repeat count. Let's put that indefinite in there just in case something happens really quick and I don't see it. Oh. Oh. All right. All right. All right. Can I just bounce it? Boom, boom, no. CSS animation, animate transform. What attributes? CSS. No. SVG, animate transform ease bounce. Ease bounce. Ease. Nope. Ease bounce. Nope. Jeez. How many spelling mistakes can I fit in 4 letters? So, can I bounce it back and forth? Attribute name C1 from 2. Ah. First we have to show there. See what position. 3 position circle taking the animation. And then we repeat those values. So the circle will pause, key splines, bounce, linear ease. Can I see how these come together? Please. So it's not animate transform. So if I do animate instead of animate transform, attribute name, but no, this is still not quite right. Animate transform, conditional position attributes, polygon, points, rotate. We can from 0 to 2, from 2 to 1. Right? Is that what they're trying to tell me? Oh no. So from 1 1, from 2 2, from 1 to 2, from 2 2 to 1 1. Nope. God damn it. Rotate. Type rotate transform 0670. Attribute type XML. Animates a transformation attribute on its target element, thereby allowing animations to control translation, scaling, rotation, and or skewing. What I don't understand is how we get 3 elements in there. 360, 360, 60, 70. Yeah, this is not documentation. This is an example. It has nothing to do with documentation. Animate transform keyframes. Excuse me, no. Okay, I pressed this button 4 times before it unmuted. That's something... I hope my microphone isn't going to have a hardware issue now just before the biggest stream I've ever done. Animate, transform, animate, transform. How is Google so bad that what to me looks like a straightforward search, it does not come up with a single useful result? What the hell happened, Google? What the hell happened? Hey guys. Animate, transform, keyframes inside SMIL. Values. Begin mouse enter key times. So can I do something like values? Animate, transform. In SMIL syntax. I don't even know what SMIL stands for. SVG animation, SMIL. Warning, deprecate is not a favorite CSS with animation. The Chrome developers have since suspended that deprecation. What the hell? SVG. Animate. Scale. Multiple keyframes. I still don't. Oh my god. All right, let's try CSS animations one more time. Nope. Keep forgetting that this is not really part of the. Yeah, like it's just completely ignoring this. Marker bounds. Ease in, out. 0 second 1 marker dot set. Let's have a quick look if you see this animation is not even in here. Why? Animation. Boom. What the hell? Is it that semicolon? Oh my god, I had the semicolon in the string. God damn it. Do some thinking, holy moly. Alright, so. That means we should be able to do this. Go up to 1.5, go back to 1. Do it much quicker. Right? And then it should kind of do that. And we could also do opacity 1, opacity 0. Right. Opacity 0. And boom, opacity 1. And it should probably be a lot faster. Now the dashed stuff. I basically would have to change the stroke path length. And I'm not sure if it will animate those numbers. I mean, we can try it. But it hurts me to think to even try, if I'm entirely honest. So basically, in theory, if we do this here, and then we'll do something like, I don't know, 60 here. Just guessing. Yeah, I don't think I can animate these because because these are attributes, these are not CSS properties. Animate stroke depth array. Like, we can offset, but we can't scale. Scale stroke dash array. I'm surprised that it doesn't... Doesn't... Like, the scaling shouldn't change that. I guess I'm kind of misusing the wrong thing here. I should literally have the path be interrupted in those places. But that means I'd have to... I can't reuse my thing here. I'd have to actually interrupt the path myself. Because, right... I heard crackling through my microphone. Yeah, we kind of figured out the affiliate stuff for... Well, we had to set it up. Okay, so we don't really want to use stroke dash array. We really want to physically disrupt the line. The problem with that is that my render cage here, it's designed for automatically generating the path that I need. Now, slicing that path up is going to be a little trickier. I'm trying to think. So it does this. Edge points get cell outline. I mean, there's two things I can do. Is I can replicate this functionality and then use this to get basically the path, because this is not trivial. Except I'm only drawing a box, so actually I don't really need this at all. So maybe I'm overthinking it. I don't need to do all this algorithm here. And I don't need a label. So what if we'll start from here instead? Right. We'll start from here instead. And then we don't, we don't need to inject the cage style and all that other stuff. We don't need to cell outline. So mentally, I'm literally just thinking now. Actually, can I do a single path that's interrupted in SVG? Can I do that? Is a path always contiguous? SVG path with gaps. Can I have a singular path? Yeah, I think so. Isn't it like an M, like a move command? Or is there always a closed? No, actually, no, I don't think so. Get SVG path with gaps. SVG path. Can I have a move instruction? That's the question, basically. So if I have an path, right? The data reference is shared default, yada yada yada. Path length. So, where's the documentation for the D attribute? The attribute defines the shape of the path. This is not documentation. Here's the documentation for Windows. Windows is the operating system for your computer. Enjoy. What the hell, guys? SVG path D. Specification. I feel like I'm misunderstanding the word documentation. Maybe what I think of as specific. I don't know. It's like none of these things are documentations. It's ridiculous. All right. Commands are detailed below. Yeah. Why didn't the path with the D attribute link to this? Jesus. All right. Line 2. Move to. Okay. That is what I was looking for. Holy moly. All right. All right. Right. So. My nose is itching. Sorry. It's itching. I don't know why. It's itching. So, let's get rid of all this. Right. Get rid of that. Now, we can do this. We can do all of these. Excuse me. We take that above here. We're gonna get rid of that. All of that. Till here. We are not gonna use cage style. We're not gonna use edge points. No. No, 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 no. I'm going to put in the path here manually. Border color. Isn't that already taken care of? Render part, border attributes. Marker. Attributes. And it is a marker. Lit. And then it's SVG render part. And target is cell highlights. Type is path. Because that probably doesn't do anything right now. Unexpected string. Unexpected string. Wait, what? Shape rendering, geometric position. Shape rendering. Didn't have a comma there. And nothing. Are you kidding me? No, we got it. We still got our sparkles. All right. So, I probably don't actually want to barebone. I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying. But if t equals z, so the path prior. So if I do this, right, and then I select that, and then I look at highlights, and I look at the D attribute in something like this. This one. So we start with an M, and then we'll have L. Okay, so we'll do something like M 50-50, and then we'll do L 50-50. Right? If we do something like that, we should get some kind of line. Please, give me some kind of line. No. If I go to here, M132 L, and then what's Z at the end? All right. We got a line. Okay. My head. This is gonna be so annoying, because, well, you know what? I might as well do it relative to 0, 0, and then we can use transform to move it. Right? So we scale it and then we transform it to locate. Anyway, the point being. L50, no, M50-50. So that's our origin. So we'll do a line to here and then a line to here. So we go to 150, from 0 to 150. So shouldn't that be a right-angled corner? Sorta. Wait, what? So a line down 150, and then across 150, and then 0 minus 150, up again, right? Yeah, I think we're not erasing it right now. So, where's the class being assigned? Order attributes, class. Let's refresh that. Let's see if we can clean up that garbage. Okay. Alright. Alright, so this is all in absolute terms. So if we do this relative to if I go to 0, 0, if I go to 0, 0, and then I go to 64, and then 64 again, and then don't do the other thing, is that going to be two edges of a cell? Yes, it is. Okay, so now if I go to X, so I start below the upper left corner. So 64, so 16, then I go to the corner, and then I go 16 like that. And 16 is a quarter of the cell. Now, I don't know what's the standard for a corner like that, but if we get rid of the strokey stuff, right, and maybe quarter, is a quarter enough? What if we do 20 out of, we'll do 24 is a third, right? Maybe a third is better. And then we'll do, and now the question is, can we move again? So can I now move 24 is 48. To get to 64 is 16, right? So if we move 16, 0, and then we'll do a line to 64, 0. Does that give us the effect along the upper edge that I'm looking for? Wasn't M? Move the current point to the coordinate. Any substitute coordinate pairs are interpreted as to this absolute line 2 commands see below. M. Move the current point shifting by the last known position of the path by dx. Move. L. So okay, so oh my god, so we can't make gaps then. Move instructions can be thought of as picking up the drawings and setting it down somewhere else. In other words, moving the current point. No line drawn between P and the current. Wait. And what if I don't Z at the end? Okay, what if we do relative? So we're going minus 24, then we're going 24 across, then we'll move 16, and then we'll line 24 across again. Now we have our gap. Then we can line 24 down. We can move 16 down. Then we can line minus 24 down again. Then we'll line 24 to the left. Right. Then we move 16 to the left. Then we'll line 24 to the left again. Then we'll line 24 up. And I'm gonna check here before I keep going. Wait, so should I just use H and V? So if I do vertical, right, we'll do a vertical minus 24, we'll do a horizontal 24, and I don't think there's the same for moving. Horizontal 24, then we'll move, then we'll do a horizontal 24, then we'll do a vertical minus 24. No, we'll do a vertical 24. Then we'll do a vertical 24 again. Then we'll do a horizontal minus 24. Then we'll do a horizontal minus 24. And then we'll do a vertical minus 24. And I think that's it, right? Okay, and now I feel like I should have done thirds after all. Or made the gap a little bit bigger. So we have... But 64 doesn't divide by 3. Divides by 4, so we can do quarters. 24. If 24 is slightly too long, what if we do it 20? Then the gap would be 24. So then the gap would have to be 24. The gap would be slightly longer. Which I think is okay. So these would all be... The gap would be 24, and everything else would be 20. So all the 60s become 24, and all these become 20. And vertical 24, and vertical 24, and horizontal 24. And I'm messing something up. M24, horizontal vertical, M24, horizontal vertical, M24. That still seems quite slightly wrong. And I think the problem here is I'm not taking the line thickness into consideration. Yeah. All right. So we need to do all of that. That's annoying. No, wait. How am I doing that here? Page style offset. Yeah, the line thickness is calculated into the offset. My god, I don't want to do this manually. I need to do this. I need to automate this. Man. That's so annoying that the line thickness isn't like relative to itself, you know, that the line isn't drawn in the center, basically. Unless I'm kind of completely misunderstanding something. But like this looks, you know, like as if the line starts here, goes across. Like it's horizontally centered, but not vertically. That doesn't make any sense at all, really. Wait, am I miscounting here? 24 plus 20... But 24 plus 20 plus 20 is 64, which is the size of a cell. Now the thing is, for the selections, I'm going fully inside. But it's because I've calculated the exact offset for that thickness of line, and the offset is this. Right? So if I put that in here, man, I need to... I need to turn this into actual data so I can do maths on it. Otherwise, I'm gonna go insane. So I'm gonna have to turn that into some kind of data. So we're gonna do let path equals, right? And we have a list of lines, and we're just gonna start from 0, 0 to keep things a little simpler, right? So we're gonna do a yeah, if I do it relative, it's gonna be even more annoying. So we're just gonna go from 0, 0. And we're gonna start by going 20, 0. So that's the line, the top line across. Then we're gonna skip. And I'm not going to put the skips in, I'm just going to have absolute coordinates, right? So we're going to go from 0, 0 to 20, 0. Right. And then we're going to go to... No, I need to have each line segment in as two like... We go from 0, 0 to 20, 0, right? So we'll have a move and a line, and a move and a line, right? And then we'll go from 44, 0 to 64, 0, and that's the upper right segment, 20, you know, and then we'll go from 64, 0. Sorry. 64, 0, yes. To 64, 20. And then we'll go from 64, 44 to 64, 64. So that's the bottom right line. And then we'll go from 64, 64 to 64, 44. And then we'll go from 64, 20 to 0. No, sorry, wait, what? No. This is the bottom right line where we start from the right edge, we go one in. And now we're going to go from 20, 64 to 0, 64. Right? We'll add some spacers here. So from 2064, bottom edge, and that is the bottom left corner. And then we'll go from 0, 64 to, no. Yes, to 0, 44. And then finally we go from 0, 20 to 0, 0. So that should be all the line segments. So if I do this, like if I map this, and it'll be x0, y0, x1, y1, and I'll map that to a string where we're moving to x0, y0. Not the right characters at all. My brain was busy. And then we'll do a line to x1, y1 for each of these. And now we can do math on these guys. If this is indeed a halfway reasonable something something. Put another brace here. Another brace here. That's so annoying. They should get rid of that requirement. And then we'll join them up, right? So we'll have that. Eventually we'll have that. M00 L20. Wait, L20 X20 Y0 X from. We'll move to that. And then we'll line to there. Okay, that sounds right. Let's leave that in there. And we'll do that for a sec. Yeah, oh my god. And it's already more accurate than the other one because freaking relative stuff. Ah, jeez. The problem is the corners. What if we make them into segments? So the last bit get actually attached to this one, right? And then these two go together. And then 64, 44, 64, 64. These two go together. Right. And then these two go together. And we don't need that. And now we need to do it obviously. Now these are the four corners basically. So now we have Y2. We'll basically just add another line here. Like that. And that should also work. Like that. Right? Yeah, and now the corners are properly done. Aye. Okay, now the one thing it doesn't do is it doesn't translate it to the right location. So, we're gonna have to add that now. I'm getting tired. I'm getting so tired. So tired. And the problem with the transform is that we cannot transform the scale without the position. So we have a couple of options. We could just wrap it into a graphics object and move the graphics object, right? Let's just see if the animation would still work at this point. So we should be able to do that, right? That should just work-ish. Sorta. It should kind of sort of work. We haven't set up the origin for this. But now, if we're going to mess around with the whole translation stuff... Oh man, this is so annoying that you can't translate, that you can't animate, that you can't split out scale transform, and... God, is that really not possible? SVG, split, scale, and transform. Like, it's obvious that you want to animate like a scale, but not the position, right? You can use transform origin and transform box to center on the rect shape. Transform box. Transform box. I have not heard that one before. That's a new one to me. Transform box. Transform box provides the layout box to which the transform, inverted transform, reverse transform, translate, rotate, transform origin properties relate. The problem is, they all relate to the same thing, right? Alright, I think at this point it's probably easier if we just inject our position. And the position would be the cell, right? So somewhere here, we can output the cell. Oh, console.log cell. And then we can just use the cell's position and offset everything by that. Right? Yeah, row call, right? So we have that path. We are going to map this first. So we're gonna map this twice. And here we're going to... Oh, man, this is so annoying. This is so annoying. Alright. So... yeah. Alright. Cell dot plus cell dot column times 64, and I'm just gonna hardcode this quickly, and we can clean it up later. This is all just a quick proof of concept. Super quick. I'm not bitter at all. I think I got this the wrong way around. These are the rows, right? X is columns, Y is rows. And if I do that, and that's always not gonna move it, it's just gonna be a proof of concept, right? So in theory, we should be able to do this, and we should be able to squeeze that in here like that. And now it should be there. And our transform origin is not correct. Marker, origin. Okay, and if we grab a different cell, okay. Now, can I bounce this animation more than once? 3 times? Okay. And what if we animate it from scale 1.2 Like that. And what if, instead of bouncing it 3 times, we bounce it once over 3 seconds, and then we do it by the keyframes. Alright, so 20 forte. Let's do that. Yeah, doesn't matter. Leave that in. 20, 40, 60, 80. And then at 100, we'll go super big and fade it out. What if we do that? Alright, and we'll do it a bit faster. 2 seconds. 1, 2, shoop. Do it again. 1, 2, shoop. I wish it was smoother. There's definitely something stuttery, but I'm just gonna hope that there's some weird artifact. Okay. It's time to clean this mess up. Holy macron. So, this works, and I like things that work. So, marker path. Shorten that a bit. Marker path. Let marker b equals blah, 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 blah. Oh geez. Boom. Yeah, all of this can be shortened. Marker bounds. Still annoyed that this works like that. But at least it works. Alright, let's get rid of that. Don't need that. Then we're sticking in the confetti. Got this silly animation we need to add to freaking DOM. This is just const data. Should be, might as well be up here. These actually should be at the very top. Ah, no, because yeah. Marker path, right. All right. And this stuff we're gonna move into this. We'll do a little CSS here. Well, there's not gonna be much in here, to be honest. Not much, because everything, most of the other stuff is calculated. Although this can be in here. All right. So, path is not defined. Marker path. Boom. Uh-oh. What the hell? Oh no. No, 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 no. Origin. Transform origin. This was working before. This was working before, guys. This was working. This was working. It should be working. It was working. I have a feeling my restream chat is not working. Unless everyone's really quiet, which I guess is possible. What did I just break? Something. Marker path. I'm just gonna undo it again. And before I do it again, I'm gonna try. Ah, that's not fine. So. I was just cleaning up some stuff. But here it was already broken, right? Was it working at this point? No. Shit. When did I break it? I thought I had it all working. Why are you doing this to me? How did I not see that the animation wasn't centered? Oh geez, oh geez, oh geez, how far back do I have to go? Okay, okay, this one works. Still work here? No. What? How the hell is that breaking? I need to scale it relative to 1.0 apparently. No, once the offset is set, it should matter how much I scale it by. I mean, it obviously does, but it should not. God damn it. So if I go forward, back to after all this work was done, right? Do that. Put it there. And nope. Go back to here, right? And now I change these to 1.0. It'll work. Bizarre. That's bizarre. But we can work with that. How's it look? Yeah, that's fine. That's fine actually. Maybe won't make it as extreme anyways. Yeah, something like that, right? And we'll probably want to do it a little faster anyways. Your particles on the screen. It's a little more subtle. Doesn't hold up the stream as much. We can speed this up just a little bit. How would we do that? 6. Yeah, fine. If I make these 160, super tiny puffs of particles. If I put them closer together, it speeds up so fast towards the end. Yeah. All right. I have to clean this up. Trying to think, is there something that can make it where we can make it obviously smaller? Like, I don't like if I can change this format somehow that I can process these all at once. Like if I break them apart into L and M's. Right now I basically have each corner like this. So if instead of doing it like this, I actually have because if I go back to get back and make this into a string, I could actually still do the processing, right? Because it's very structured. So in other words, if we go back to turning this into a string, and we know that we have an M followed by an L, followed by an L, followed by an M, followed by an L. Let's just align them for a sec here. We got that, right? These are the M's at the beginning. Get rid of the commas. Get rid of that comma. And then M2, L2, 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 and by 2 I mean followed by 2 numbers, right? Like that. L followed by 2, L followed by 2. Right, and now we can just do that. So that would be our path, right? And we should be able to take this. So I'm just gonna output this here for future reference. So we can then split it by everything, really. No, by letters. So we could go split by not digit. Like that, I think. Not exactly. Not exactly. Match. Match. ML. Followed by 0 through 9. So that's our letter. Followed by 0 through 9. Zero through 9 plus space 0 through 9 plus, right? So if I do this, what do we get out of our... We get that. And if we don't do this, what do we get then? And if I do this, we'll get what exactly? I forget. Oh man, this is so annoying. Do I have to split it twice? So the problem is if I do the global match, it doesn't give me the individual matches, right? And then I'll have to split again anyways. It does this garbage here. And what if we split it by... If we split it by... We split it by something like this, I guess. Something like this. Like this. That breaks it up into all... Oh, shoot. No. How do I do this? All right, this is ridiculous. If I do a split by this, though, what do we get? God damn it. All I want is an array of these blocks, right? And I don't know why this doesn't give us that. Maybe if I join this together with into a singular unit like that, and it gives us the spaces in between. And if I do, God damn it, I hate doing that. If I do this, look ahead. That looks right, doesn't it? Yeah. So we can do this. And then dot map. Dot split. No, dot. And now we can match it against this again. Except now we're matching it against the previous version. Like that. Right? So now it gets us an array. And then we can map it to, we'll have full match. We have the letter. We have the X and the Y. And now we're just going to output the letter followed by the X followed by the Y. And that should put our string back together. Except now we have a place where we can operate on these numbers. And at the end we need to join it up. Dot join, boom. And then we can add in this. And instead of the 64, we'll have svg renderer dot cell size. Just so this will work if I ever change that in the future. And boom. Ah, wait. If I put it behind, will it add it? Or do I have to parse it and all that bollocks? Come on, JavaScript, do the smart thing. Nope, it's not doing the smart thing. Yeah, I don't know if I saved anything in the end here. All right. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Not sure if that's worth it. And that looks about right. So we can say const marker D equals right, and then I don't know. This is bulkier than this ever was. I mean, it works. Can do that. We'll start with that. And to be honest, if I do this in one step, so what I'm gonna make a little function here. We're just gonna say const transform path then it'll just be this basically. Or path. Transform path xy plus x plus x offset x offset y plus ox plus oy blah 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 blah. And then here we can do transform path, marker path, cell dot x is column times cell size row times cell size. Yeah, and then we don't need to break the cell properties out up here somewhere where we were doing it. All right. Okay, we don't need that anymore. We still need the that. We still need the origin thing here. Is there a better way of doing that? All of this is super clunky. I'm just gonna wrap this all up into a function called whatever, right? So, and we'll have a function that clears all that stuff up. So, I think it's time to move most of this into our little, into Stream Tools, I guess. Excuse me. For now, I guess it can just live here. So we can get rid of that. And then all of this, or most of these constants here, go up here, your helpers, like that. And then most of the other stuff basically just goes into a function. Puzzle settings, effects, e dot mark cell, function cell, basically. And then we'll just kind of sort of smush all of this in there. Boom. Right? Everything got this. So if I do this, refresh that, and now we'll go to framework dot features dot stream tools dot mark. All right, and then we'll pick out a cell, kind of like what we did earlier up here. And cross our fingers. Okay. All right. So at least the code is in. It's clunky and crazy as it is. It's in. Right. So now in theory, it's as easy as passing mark cell through from the server. And I don't know if the server currently will pass unknown commands through. So let's go refresh this here. That's our host, right? We want a second host. So let's make this all fit on the screen somehow. Oop. All right. So we have a second host, right? They're connected. And now if we do something like framework.features.streamTool.send MSG cmd.mark cell equals cell 25, it doesn't get passed through. That's what I'm interpreting this in. So we have an unknown command, and I probably want to set up the server to pass commands from the host through, because it'll make things easier, because it means I don't have to restart the servers if I want to add a command on the client side. So actually, these are all going to be just the default. There's going to be this for all of these. Right. No, wait. Yes. If I do this on the server, and then whatever we just did here, it arrives on the client. Okay. And then on the client needs to obviously know what to do with it, right? So here we go. Mark cell. Yada yada yada. Message. Mark cell. And we'll just clone this. Mark cell. Yeah, this doesn't make any sense. All right, refresh, refresh, send the message, boom, mark the cell. And it arrives here. And now we can do this dot mark the cell. And we'll do a const app puzzle cells, boom, equals framework. And then mark cell, cells, msg.cell. Right. If I refresh that. Okay. And if I want to mark cell 5, if I want to mark cell 0, and if I want to mark cell 10, if I want to mark cell 70. Okay. Proof of concept accomplished. Alright. Alright. That works. So what do we need to make this work? So the server... Okay, let's clean up a little. Clean it up, clean it up, clean it up. Let's see what we've changed, right? So, we've changed that to export those, all right? We've added some styling. And we've basically added this monstrous, horrible function here. And then on the server side, all we did is basically we removed the filtering on the messages. But we're still filtering by host keys, so we still have some basic security in place, right? So, so that's actually fairly viable. So npm run deploy server. So we're gonna log into SSH into AWS 4 here. List restart 6, I believe. 6 is beta. Where's beta? 6. Right. Might as well update while we're there. All right, and then on the app side, it's basically that. All right, we actually want to bump that as a minor version. All right, edit cell mark effect to stream tool. All right. npm run deploy beta. Nope, not deplotting. Always, I deplot a lot though. I have to be honest. So let's deploy that. Check if this is waiting for me to press buttons. All right. And now we should be able to test this on beta. So I'll go to beta.SudokuPad.app and we'll do it all again. We'll need a second browser to make this actually work properly. Let's refresh. All right. And now, can I grab this out of... Yes, I can. There we go. Horribly stuttery, but it does the thing. Let's do this. Let's do our usual layout. All right, now one question I have for myself: do we have a puzzle to test? Not right now. All right, this is the end of the stream. I'm just gonna test this quickly. So if we have this, can I? If I there's a message I can send. So 1 second. So we have this, right? We have this. We get rid of that, but we also have this, right? So if we put that there, and then we'll add that puzzle that I just opened, this one, into here. Does that work? I don't know. Let's find out. Let's find out together. So we got a puzzle here. Nope, that's not the puzzle. We've got a hosted view here. Can we open a non... Yes. And now... Wow. Look at that. Would you look at that? You can copy and paste cells already. So if I put in some cells here, I can Control C and I can Control V. Control C, Control V. The thing with Logic Masters Germany specific stuff is that Logic Masters Germany is not actually a very big site. You know, puzzles have tens of solves there and thousands of solves in SudokuPad. So I don't know, their system is a bit silly, and I'd rather build something better. That whole key entering thing doesn't make a lot of sense to me. They should have a better system, that's it. Alright. So, if I now do this... So the idea here is... Okay. The other thing is, how do I... Okay, yeah. The second part of this whole thing that I won't have time to build now is that we need a second way into the server. So, because this is a WebSocket connection and it's apparently has to set it up. So the second way of connecting to the server, although it's not terrible, but basically what I want to be able to do is I want to drop these off at the server as API calls. And the annoying thing is that the puzzle server right now, all the functionality is basically waiting behind the upgrade handling. And I don't think anything that doesn't go through upgrade handling ever gets to the puzzle server, right? Maybe it could. Maybe it could. Server, HTTP server on. HTTP server on. HTTP server on upgrade. HTTP server on upgrade. HTTP server on upgrade. I'm repeating myself, but I'm just curious right now. How are we otherwise listening to messages arriving on the server? Could we get notified in a secondary fashion? Find handlers, match route. Like match route, when does match route even happen? Handle server request. When does handle server request happen? But maybe there's like an on request handler. Like there must be documentation. Oh man, I have to stop saying this because whenever I say there must be, there probably isn't. On response. On client request support. HTTP server on request. Each time there's a request. There may be multiple. So I think we should be able to just listen to a request from the puzzle server, right? So if I say something like request, then we'll do args console.log request args. There's something. Oh, I see a dot. There we go. So now if I access localhost blah, 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 like that, it'll come through here. Let's see what else is happening here. So we have request, incoming message. So it's probably request response args.length. How many are there? Request 2. Okay. Handle request. Request response. So in theory, this dot handle request, right? Console the log handle request request.url, for example. So if I do this, I should be able to listen in on these requests. Okay, and then I should be able to do response send. Okay, like something like that. Response send is not a function. How do we deal with responses? Response dot end. So if I do this and try to open this, the problem is we have multiple response handlers, and the other one is probably happening first. God damn it. Like, I'm getting notified that it's happening, but I can't hijack it and stop the normal handling from happening. Mostly because it's done after the fact. Damn it. Yeah, I was hoping I could interject that, sort of get to the front of the queue. Server closed. Can I incoming message response, server response? Can I close the response? Or aren't I already closing? I am trying to close it. Emitted when the response has been sent. Response. Outgoing message. No. Server response. Event close. Yada yada yada. So I'll either have to create. Well, I guess it doesn't. It's not a big deal to add it up here, right? So we have an API/puzzle. I think it's gonna be under admin, right? Admin. Clone view. All right, handler. Can I not just add a route after the fact? So, start, add route. Can I not just add a route? Ooh, can I just add a route? Wait, but I don't think I'm getting access to the higher level. Can I just, oh man. If I do simple server.add route, and I basically pass this sort of thing in here. add route. And I'll do just something like console.log handle. Can I just do that? Is that the syntax for add route? Probably not, right? Add route probably expects a route and a handler. So if we do this, and then this, what does that look like? It looks like I have too many braces here. Right? If I do this, handle request. But if I do /admin/clone view, it doesn't do the thing. One sec. Does this not add the route, or are the roots match route roots? Like, does that root not get added to the list here? But it gets added to the end. And I think at that, oh man, yeah, this thing is really badly thought out. I mean, it was supposed to be a quick thing for testing, not really a final thing, because I probably have a route that gets caught earlier. So actually, I'd have to inject the route at the beginning, or I'd have to. No, I'd just have to add the route at the beginning, right? Yeah, so if I just do, holy crap, is that janky. But I can just do routes dot unshift, if that indeed is your name, like that. God, I don't remember the syntax, if it's unshift or shift. I never remember. Like that. And then I go here. We hit handle. Okay. So we can get rid of that. I don't want to have a bunch of changes in places that don't need changing. Do this, right? And then here we'll do unshift handle. You know what? I'm gonna pass simple server here. Under here. HTTP server, no. We're gonna pass in simple server. Simple server. And then HTTP server equals simple server.server. Like that. And then you can do this in here. This dot handle request. This dot handle request. And we don't need to do that anymore. We can do this. Then we have handle request. Response.writeHead is undefined. I think URL is the first argument on these handlers, right? URL. So URL request response, like that. Handle URL, writeHead, and if I do 200 and send, okay. I don't know if send is a thing. Told me, it yelled at me earlier for trying to do it. Yeah, it's not a function. If I do just end, all right. Okay, all right. Okay. Handle clone view API. Handle admin. Clone view. That makes the most sense, right? Clone view. Yada yada yada. S. URL. Boom. Boom. Yeah. So the idea is So the idea is that here now I should be able to accept an API request from our stream with this stuff, and then it can inject, you know, these sorts of things and all that stuff. Hey, Shelby. Holy moly. All right. That's it for the stream. I think, yeah, dinner's due. I'm late. At least we got the core thing going. We got the visual effect going through the server remotely. This is going through my Amazon server in the US. So it's fairly quick, right? And we can go the other way too. Ba-ding! You know, we can target any cell we want. It's just one visual effect right now. But hopefully we can do some things now. All right. Normally I'd play some games now, but I'm really super late. So I'm gonna have to skip that. Thanks for hanging out, guys. Take care and see you guys in the next one. And did my chat just close again? No. All right. Ooh. Thanks for thanking. No, hanging out. And today I'm gonna have to copy it over. All right. That's it. Take care, guys. And I'll see you probably in the live stream next, because that'll happen before my next stream. Awesome. Don't remember. No, do remember. Don't forget. SudokuCon live stream on the 4th. It's a 24-hour live stream, so you can't miss it. But the start time should get publicized on SudokuPad pretty soon. Right now, it should already tell you about it. Big startup, except I think I have this on. But normally, no, it won't, because, well, it'll be here. It'll be here. You won't miss it. That's